It is a building that first hosted football way back in 1966 as EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Oakland Raiders.
Down, 185. Hey, here we go. Later two.
Darius Geis, his first carry of the game. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go. One, later one. Check 24. 93. Out. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Hey, Alpha. One, later one. That's it.
Card out a throw. Ball going deep here for Taylor. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6.
I smell feet. Check. Mike's 59. Mike's 50. Right Monday down. Here we go, G. Later 9. Slam.
Shotgun now for Carr. And he's able to find Diggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Out of the gun, Geis. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Colts 48-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Low. 10. Safe.
On the ground, it's Geis. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
Deuce. Later 8. Check 59, Mike. That's it.
They'll try and get it with Geis. And an alley to run. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, second down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, second and 10.
You're mine.
59 Mike.
What's up?
Check, 59. Watch the run.
What's up?
Now they'll throw with Carr. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Justin Houston make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long.
29.
Mike's 59.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
First carry for Nick Chubb. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Brissett nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On the return, Carter. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Chief. Raider 1.
He's checking crack. Check 43.
They go back to the ground. This time Jacobs pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Check 49. 59's Mike. 59 Mike. Check, 59.
6-18.
You
Snap comes at 1, and it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Naeem Hines, his first carry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Switch. Hey, switch gears. Check 50. Tight dog.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ready. Mike 50. Watch the slip. Check it back.
They run again on first down. Chubb. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run with Hines. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now we've got whistles and a flag. Looked like one of the Colts linemen might have jumped. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long.
Check. Lucky.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He's going to rifle one. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Deion Kane His 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, we're good, we're good. You ready? Slide down.
Watch the safety creep.
Here's Geis. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Ready, 1.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
X3, 218, chopper. Express.
We got motion. We got motion. Back up. Back up.
This is Geis. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
59. 58's the money. 58's the money. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
From the gun, it's Carr. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
637.
Here's Carr. He's got his running back, Darius Geis, and he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
Raiders 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's get up. Check 13. Check 13.
Back to the ground game now with Geis. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 2nd quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Express.
Hold.
Purdue.
Turn up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up.
Geis with a carry on second down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
It's now 3rd and 4.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go. Check, 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 check. White Monday. 59 Mike, check, check.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. They'll find his tight end. That's Waller. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, this is a guy who is already among an elite group of kickers that have hit from 60-plus in an NFL game, but that's a tough ask to try and get him to produce another one here.
You're exactly right. It's elite group for a reason, isn't it? No small feat for him to hit it from that distance. This one doesn't go through. I always marvel at those guys because it's the same approach every time, the same smoothness when they swing their leg. Doesn't look like they're putting anything extra even when they're kicking it for 60-plus.
Here's Brissett. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. It's our time. It's over. Shit.
To throw is Brissett. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Hey, we're good.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime with just the lone touchdown here. 7-0 is our score. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20.
Ready.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Out of the gun, Brissett. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Deon Cain with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, being on the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Geis. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Mike, check, 59. Check.
Throwing now is Carr. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 28. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
On 1st down, this is Geis. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
I don't think you got it. Express.
To throw is Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. when you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Right there in the left. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Check nickel.
A first down throw for Brissett. Flush to his right. That's complete to his receiver, Kane. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
Here we go.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And again, it's Chubb. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
Go. Whip. Watch safety three.
On 3rd down, it's Hines. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Nyheim Hines with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that makes the score 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And he will score. Touchdown, Indianapolis. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think I'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. Back to the ground on first. It's Geis. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. They'll run with Geis. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Geis. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Raiders on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Shift. Twist.
From the gun, Carr. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 16.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Tight end's right. We got 4. Switch. 1, later 1.
Check, 59. Ricky. Chef.
Now a run with Geis.
Go. It's right.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards there and a first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Hey, turn it up.
Deuce right, Chief.
Rush in.
Geis, they'll try to run it. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. What a game this defense continues to play, huh?
Yeah, they've been aggressive from the first snap, and they've controlled this ball game. But right now, if you're on the other side of the ball, you've got to match that aggressiveness. No points so far in this game. Moving the football, got to be that way to go against them and try and get some points on the board.
And I'm curious on the defensive side if they stay aggressive, because you know they want to pitch this shutout.
Yeah, they have to be aggressive, but they also have to be smart about it as well, because one mistake can turn into 6 points.
On the ground, Geis, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Down and goal to go.
What down? Blue 80.
Mike's 59. Get that quarterback at all costs.
White Monday down.
Watch out.
Express.
Check. Motion out of the backfield. Motion out of the backfield.
They run with Geis. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown. Offensively, are you saying, let's go for this, let's try to get it in the end zone?
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal and see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
Here we go with Geis, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Darius Geis, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. Oh, this is blocked. The Colts have it. But he will not be able to bring this one back, in the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
So even when they get a touchdown in this game, which hasn't really been a stellar contest for them, they can't even cap it off and kick the extra point.
Yeah, just not a whole lot going right for them in this game.
I know that when they get into film, this is going to be Exhibit A about how this game went for this team. Oh, we finally score. Can't even kick the extra point.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Where'd he go?
Throwing. Brissett. That one into the hands of Kane. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis, and also move the sticks.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and tell him to go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves them with 3rd and 5. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Brissett from the gun on 3rd. Looking deep for Hilton. can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
A running play on 1st down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Carr to throw for it on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. Time to go, night. Check, 55. Mike.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nick Chubb, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well at hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. Kill.
Hey, 734.
Mike. All day, baby, all day.
Check 4.
They start on the ground with Geis, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 8.
Down. 180. 59.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
That's it.
3rd down, here's Geis. He finds an opening past the 40, and he'll take it to the 43-yard line. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Colts, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with a win. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.